Xbox shows off their partners, Bandai Namco is a principal, and the God of War TV show is in trouble. My gosh, this is the Nerd Cave News, and I am one of your hosts, Zach Dykes, joined by For 100 years, a hero slept beneath the glacier, entombed in ice as the world forgot his name. When refugees from a fallen kingdom of Horus stumbled upon him, their desperate pleas cracked the frozen cage. As the hero awakened, his memories flood back, along with the magic of the ancient dead. He called upon the spirits of his long-lost comrades, their spectral forms rising from forgotten graves. Together, they marched to battle, saving the refugees and reclaiming the land from the darkness that once consumed it. This hero is Edrin Grimborn, the Frozen Knight.
Oh, very edgy name. Very edgy. It kind of gives like Captain America, frozen in ice, and then waking up, and then it's like Lord of the Rings, like go in Return of the King, where he goes to that mountain to find the undead army to save Gondor. So yeah, I really like that. So the important thing is now, where does it rank? So, Zach, and everybody watching at home, we're glad that you're here. If you've been with us for a while, you know that these name rankings, I have a certain archetype, like I like my high kings, my great wizards, my kings.
You like your ego stroked, Derek. Let's just
well,
be honest.
I like what I can't be in life. You know what I mean? I can never be a king or a knight or a great wizard. So
you're in my heart.
Well, number one in your heart. Looking at this top five, looking at Maxwell Mindreach Stone, Kazumar, King Thalric Volcrum, High Goblin King Gilgamesh, and Marconius Dracan the Great Wizard.
Where does it rank, Derek? Where do you feel it deep down in your guts? Like, it's right there.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go because not remembering the whole backstory of it, I'm gonna have to go with it being my new number 4, below King Thalric Volcrum.
Edrin Grimborn. This episode is brought to you by the Epic Game Store, where you can support us by using our creator code NERDCAVE at checkout, and our wonderful patrons. But more about that later. First up, as always, is what you've been playing, Derek.
So I've been playing a little bit of 2 games, a little bit of Ghost, a little bit of Sparking Zero. Sparking Zero, I actually did what you did, and went with a different story. I started with Vegeta, and it's very the parts I played, there was no time alteration. At least with the parts I played. Now that could have been a thing, that could have been something I did or didn't do. It could not have been. I don't know. But I just like all the story that we know from Vegeta Saga has played out exactly like I played up until the Android Saga with Vegeta. It was very different. It felt very different paced. Like it had some of the key battles, but like you fought Kui, but not Dodoria. Like it skipped over the Dodoria battle for me. Weird. And it went to Zarbon, and I must say I would much have rather fought Dodoria than Kui.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It was very different. Like it felt like the story we already knew. Whereas, like I said, Goku, when we played when I started his story, was very different from the Saiyan Saga. Like how from the jump in the Saiyan Saga, there was already a different choice that played out, and it seemed to have a ripple effect later down the road. But with Vegeta, it was just very beat for beat, and then it did some weird things. Like it felt like more, it was like skipping parts just to condense that story down. But I feel like Vegeta's story is just as important as Goku's.
Oh yeah.
Because he's the deuteragonist, like he's the number 2 in the show, or becomes number 2 in the show. So I feel like, why would you not do like, oh yeah, and I didn't even fight really Frieza. Like I didn't fight him in his first form. It skipped that. And I didn't even did I fight him in his final form? I don't remember, but it basically just skipped him like that first fight before Frieza started going through his transformation. So I'm like, this is really weird. This feels like I'm hitting an invisible skip button that I'm not hitting.
Yeah, it kind of felt that way, like with the way Goku's kind of plays out. Like you're used to like seeing the whole thing, but you're only getting like what that character has done, which I'm curious if you played through another character that has those, because you can look at the episode map and see what characters are on like those spots and everything. So I'm wondering if some of those fights, possibly not Dodoria because it is a Vegeta fight, but like ones with Frieza where he's transformed and everything, it might be Gohan's or something like that, and he might be a character you can switch out on. Tag team and everything.
Interesting.
So I played a little bit more, and I'm kind of revising what I said last week. I wasn't really enjoying it last week because there is a difficulty to this game.
Right.
More difficult than I feel like the past Dragon Ball Z games were.
Correct.
Which is totally fine. So I spent about 30 minutes and I went through all the tutorials on how to do everything. All of it. And do I remember everything? No, but I have a better grasp of what I can do. And I feel like if I went back and did those, like knowing just some, not the basics of punch or whatever, but like being able to get around the dragon dashes, like a lot of things that aren't really covered. It's more like, all right, you can punch, you can fly, and
charge your energy.
And I feel like people, if you are really wanting to play this game and know how to play it, you need to go through the tutorial section. It doesn't sound glamorous or, sexy by any means, but if you actually want to enjoy playing the game and not get your butt handed to you, because I feel like they don't talk about counters that well, or how to counter a grab. Any of that stuff is not talked about. And when you have like a energy, like a blast attack and it has like the thing that fills up and all of that, like it's not smashing triangle. It's like Madden or NCAA where it's the kick. You got to wait until it goes up and then you hit triangle.
Yeah.
So it's stuff like that is not talked about at all. And you're just kind of thrown in there. But on top of that, I went and I played a little bit more of the story because, again, everybody kind of knows what the story is.
Right.
But I got to the Android Saga, and I was presented the choice to either go help Piccolo or wait for Vegeta and Trunks.
Interesting.
So I chose
So I'm assuming it's going to help Piccolo before Cell absorbs Android 17, right?
Bingo.
Got you.
And you have to make sure that you are playing on the normal difficulty, not the lower difficulty, or the decisions won't happen. Like it won't do the splits on that. So if you're playing at an easier difficulty, even if you have met the things that you need to do, it will not occur. So, yeah.
Interesting.
Something I found out, I was playing around and it was like, oh, now you can do the sparking events or whatever. And I'm like, okay. And during that, because you're changing history, some different things open up, which I thought was really cool. The thing that I thought was interesting as well is that it gets to a certain point and it stops. Like it wraps up the story, but it's like, okay, this is as far as we're going to go on this kind of story or whatever. But it's like, okay, I felt really satisfied with where the story went in that branch.
Interesting.
So some of these are going to be definitely harder to do.
Okay.
Because one of the first ones is beating Raditz with Goku like super fast. Like there's a part of that. There's also when you use the Spirit Bomb on Frieza, you have to do it super fast before you get the Spirit Bomb. If you beat him before having to use that ultimate attack, it will open up a new branch.
Interesting. I don't know if I like that necessarily to trigger, because I would much rather the events happen just just like normally, than rather have to meet a requirement. Like that's the kind of thing I don't like. That feels like Assassin's Creed 2, where it's like don't get spotted by your target that you're trailing.
Well, it's like, okay, the easier path, the thing that's just going to happen naturally, is what the story is. So to get these other things to happen other than the choices like that you get with, like the beginning of the game, do you want Piccolo with you or not?
Yeah.
Like these are things you have to do within the combat. There's like Resurrection F, I'm playing through Frieza's as well. Like you have to beat both Goku and Vegeta before they go Super Saiyan Blue.
Wow.
Yeah.
So in other words, just be relentless, essentially.
Yeah, and that's before you even transform to gold. Yeah.
Crazy.
So, yeah. But what I'm seeing is like there's a lot, like I'm really enjoying it now that I know a little bit more about the combat.
Right.
And plus like getting like I didn't download all the stuff that with the $109 version of the game. And then I got all of that. I haven't like made any wishes or anything yet, but yeah, I'm liking it a lot more. And because I think also the fact of like seeing people excited about the game on TikTok, on different places, that is huge for me. Like there's a community there. That's one of the reasons I really enjoyed Helldivers 2 was because the community was so gung-ho about the game. So I'm liking it more. Going to definitely play some more. And next week we're planning on reviewing Sparking Zero, like in depth and everything. So going to be trying to get more game time on this bad boy before that, but I'm looking forward to getting to discuss it with you later next week. Derek, it's time for the gaming discussion. First up, Bandai Namco reportedly sending staff to expulsion rooms, which makes no sense, where they have nothing to do after canceling multiple games, including a mystery Nintendo project.
So Bandai Namco allegedly uses expulsion rooms after game cancellations. Bloomberg reports that Japanese game company Bandai Namco is sending staff to expulsion rooms, places where they have nothing to do, following the cancellation of several projects, including one for Nintendo. Why it matters? Japan's strict labor laws make layoffs difficult, so companies sometimes use expulsion rooms to encourage voluntary resignations and avoid severance pay. Some of the key points here: workforce reduction for Bandai Namco is reportedly cutting staff due to canceled games stemming from lackluster demand. Employee impact: about 200 of the 1,300 employees have been moved to these rooms, and nearly 100 have resigned. Canceled projects, which that are games featuring Naruto, One Piece, and an unnamed Nintendo commission title, were halted. The company's response to this, of course, they deny pressuring employees to leave. Of course, why would they admit to doing it? Their quote here is, "Our decision to discontinue games are based on comprehensive assessments," the company told Bloomberg. "There is no organization like an Oidashi designed to pressure people to leave voluntarily." Sure, there's not. To provide some context, financial challenges: the company faces post-pandemic losses due to game cancellations. Collaboration with Nintendo, known for developing games like Super Smash Bros. Ultimate and new Pokemon Snap. New ventures in last November of last year, they announced Bandai Namco Studio 2 and Studio S for contract development with Nintendo. What's next? More employees may depart as they await new projects and seek other opportunities. Man, for as much good as Japan does, they have some weird practices. And this, like, of course, they have strict labor laws, and like for layoffs and like job cuts. But at the same time, it's like, why do they allow expulsion rooms where you just pretty much, it's almost like being put in a padded room, just not without the straitjacket, and just like sitting there with like in boredom until you just basically like, all right, I get the message, I quit. And then backtracking, saying like, no, we don't have any rooms for that. And I'm like, just fire them. Like I get that they have strict labor laws, but at some point it's like, if you are going to go under as a business, you have to make exceptions and just basically be like, cool, we'll have to let you go. We're downsizing.
Yeah, it's strange, like culturally for us, like we don't fully understand it. But this, like I was reading and kind of diving into this a little bit more, and like this is a huge like shame tactic as well. Like it's like,
Oh,
oh,
yeah. So,
you're not good enough to make a game, so you have to sit in this room because
wow.
yeah. So it's just super strange that we are getting this kind of thing here. But it's
Mhm.
like also it's like, why don't we just pay them and put them on a new project? Like it's
Right.
not their fault that you picked a bad project,
Correct.
and it's just one of those like, why
Can't hear you. He's figuring it out, guys. He went robot and then silent for a minute.
okay,
There
can
we
you hear me
go.
now?
Yeah. Can you
Okay,
hear me?
hold on. I'm not getting you at all. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. you know,
We do it live, guys.
we do it live. That's how we roll.
But also, um, but yeah, you're talking about, and especially weird coming from Bandai Namco because, and hearing canceled projects because most of their games are known for anime. Like
Yeah.
they're like the anime fighting studio. So they hear that they have canceled projects. I wonder if those projects were different than what they normally do. And then they were and the higher ups were like, yeah, this ain't it. This is not going to make us money. We're giving it the axe.
Yeah. I don't know. It's really strange to see all of this, and it's like, hey, it's gonna actually cost us less and less paperwork to put you in this
Right.
this room and shame you and everything. It's like, I don't like, what are the rules? It's like, oh, you can't do it, you just gotta sit in there. It's like, no, I'm gonna play on my phone, or
Right.
not everybody is willing to put up with that and everything. But I just find it very strange because like our labor laws here in America are very different. Like I
Yeah.
feel like we I don't know, like there's a lot of at will kind of employment in
Oh,
America.
for sure.
But it's like, where does this go in the long run? You know what I mean? Like
Like
1,300 people are,
at that company, and
yeah.
200 were put in the room, and
No,
half of
there are
them.
about 1,300 put in the room.
No, hold on.
It's 200 to 1,300 have been put in the room. 100 have left so
Yeah.
far.
Yeah. So yeah. Ugh.
Absolutely crazy. It's like, shame should not be a tactic that used on adults. That's something that you use to teach
Right.
kids how to behave.
Exactly. Like, go put your nose in the corner. That's
Yeah.
and think about what you did. Well, and again, like you said earlier, it's like it's not their fault that the company decided, hey, this is not our move. We're gonna but it's our mistake, but you're gonna pay for it. Like, make it make
Yeah.
sense.
But this is silver lining here, Derek. At least you can start looking for a job and still get paid, unlike in America where you just get called in like, hey, you don't have a job.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Or wait till the end of your shift. Like come in, work your full shift, and then at the end of like the last 5 minutes of your shift, be like, thank you for your service, but you gotta go.
yeah. If you try to log on, none of your passwords work. You're not logged into Slack. Yeah.
I remember. I forget what team and what player, but there was a player during the off season, like the training camps or whatnot, that got cut by his team, and they just took away his like his little sign in card, like where he like scanned it into like get like so the door will pop open so he can enter the building. It didn't work, and that's how he found out he got cut because his
Jeez.
card didn't work no more.
Oh my God. Not like that's disrespectful at that point. It's just
Yeah,
like, it's like be a grown up and have that confrontation.
correct.
Michael says, I think kind of funny hit on this, and they do this to keep the tax incentives. If they lay off, they lose that incentive. But if someone quits, it doesn't go against them. Yeah.
Interesting. I mean, again, it all goes back to money at the end of the day.
1000%. 1000%. Now to some good PlayStation news. Astrobot speedrun stages are getting weekly releases starting today.
Yep, today. Of course, this article was a couple days ago, but as of this airing, it's out now. So Team Asobi has revealed that they begin to roll out the speedrun stages for Astrobot on a weekly basis beginning today. All stages will be released at 6 a.m. Pacific time or every Thursday and include 2 new cameo bots. Today, they will see the release of Building Speed and will be followed by Let It Slide by next Thursday, Spring Loaded Run on Halloween, Helium Heights on November 7th, and Rising Heat on November 14th. Related content, upcoming PS5 games are the best bit, all of the speedrun stages won't cost you a thing, as they will be released free to all Astrobot players to download. We want to thank you again for all the love and support you have given to Astrobot, and it means the world to us. That's all we have for today. However, watch this space, as there might be even more surprises coming soon. So we know, of course, what's the game? I know Shift Up's Stellar Blade and Helldivers are going to be, those are confirmed. I'm sure that's going to be in the first stage that they release. I'm excited to see what cameo bots they include. I wonder if we'll get teases like every week, like to show off what the speedrun stage is and the cameo bots, or there are at least one of them, or they'll just show off the stage or show off nothing and just let us be surprised. Now, and it sounds like these are new stages, because you know how my speculation was the Sacred Symbols stages were going to be the speed runs because they're so flipping hard, ungodly hard, essentially. And I thought those were going to be, but these are going to be brand new stages, it seemed like. So that's actually cool. I like that idea better. Like, of course, with speedrun, it's probably still going to be challenging. But it's still a cool idea. And again, all of it is free, guys. Like we just talk about corporate greed again in the last story, but this one's free. Not freemium, just free. If you have the game, you get this.
Yeah, and so I'm excited to see what the other characters they're going to add and everything. But when you look at PlayStation, yes, they are a corporation and they want money. But when you look at their individual developers, like you think of Arrowhead, like they are working super hard to make Helldivers 2 fun again. But they're constantly putting out new content. They're constantly, listening to the community. And then you've got Team Asobi over here where they're putting out free stuff that they don't have to. They could literally charge for these and they're not, which is super cool. And, Astrobot might be a Game of the Year contender.
Oh, for sure. Like if it wasn't already, it definitely is.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's like looking at this, you get 5 weeks worth of new stages and extra cameo bots to get, like, ridiculous. Like, no, the other games, if they did free, it'd be like, all right, we're going to give you one.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then maybe another one 5 months from now.
100%. Like, my question to you, Derek, is do we see more than this round of free levels for Astrobot? Or do you think this is their last bit of support for the game?
I could see it both ways. I could see it being the last bit of support until they do like a big expansion. Like I could like PlayStation's whole thing has been like, hey, big game's out. It's been a huge success. We might have some like new game plus, like something immediately in the cards. But then like a year later, we have a big update, like with Horizon. Burning Shores came a year after launch. Valhalla came a year after Ragnarok launched. So it's entirely possible that they could be done with support immediately, but I don't think they're done with it. Like it could easily be like, hey, we're done for it this year, and then beginning of next year, hey, we created and another 5 to 7 levels for you that are speed run that we just curated and got some more cameos because we talked about it last week. One of the glaring omissions was apparently Final Fantasy characters were not cameos in there. Maybe they can get with Square Enix and kind of hash that out and be like, hey guys, our fans are diehard PlayStation fans, and they wanted they were upset that there were no Final Fantasy mentions in the game, so we want to rectify that. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I could also see them being like, hey guys, appreciate you giving all the love and support for the game, but this is going to be all that we have in the cards for now.
Yeah, because if you're going to release levels, like you have to have the cameo bots in there.
Oh yeah,
because that's part of the gameplay loop. So
Correct.
I feel like you definitely need to have something to draw people in, just like Stellar Blade and Helldivers 2 is going to draw people in there just so they can say they have those.
Right.
Maybe they go kind of the Mario Kart track style where
like every quarter they drop something.
Yeah. Like I think that could be something sustainable, instead of, like I would love to have like maybe another Galaxy that we get like 6 months down the road.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like maybe 6 months to a year after launch, they do like, hey, we're going to give you like a galaxy or 2 galaxies, to explore and just like give a whole bunch of more cameo bots.
Yeah, and I think with this, like if they want the goodwill, of course, give it for free. Even if it's like $10, I think that would be worth a galaxy. Like I would pay $10 for a galaxy
for sure, 10 to 15 for sure.
Yeah, and I think that would, like, with how much praise and goodwill this game has garnered since its launch, even before its launch, people have loved this game and its predecessors. This is a way to be able to monetize it. And again, going back to that Mario Kart, like track, I can't remember what they call it, the track pack, whatever.
Oh, booster course.
Yeah, booster course. I think this is a way for Astrobot to be able to, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You've already got everything working. You've already got the engine, the design, and all of this. It's like you just add on to it, and we know it's going to be done with love and care. Come up with some new power-ups to make it interesting. Just don't keep going back to the well. I think that's one of the things that makes this game so good is the power-ups. For
sure. I know that's definitely one of the highlights, because I know in Astro's Playroom it was a highlight, but you only got, you only got so many chances with it. I mean, it was pretty much one for the same level, but I mean, at least with Astrobot, you got one. Like, yeah, you might have gotten the same one multiple times, but at least you got different ones throughout that same galaxy that you played through. And just thinking about it too, going back to like of course, the cameo bots, we're getting like 5 stages, starting today through the next 5 weeks, we're getting these speedrun stages. And of course, cameo bots. Do you think, because one of the biggest gets, at least for me, was like seeing like, of course, ending up in the hub world, like the ruins. And then, they have the gacha machine where they get you and they give you like side accessories to like flesh out that character and then see like when you hit them, see how they react. Do you think we'll get gacha mechanics for these as well, or no?
Yeah, I think that's just part of the game at this point. It's like you've introduced it. You can't really roll that back. So I think, we'll definitely see gacha mechanics like with the machine and the things that come up with it. And then I think we also might get some more costume references with that as well.
For sure.
So yeah, I'm definitely excited for this, and I can't wait to jump into it. But we got some interesting Sony news. God of War TV series hitting the reset button after departure of showrunners and producers.
It's not looking good, man. Sony Pictures and Amazon are restarting development on the God of War TV series for Prime Video after showrunner Rafe Judkins and executive producers Hawk Ostby and Mark Fergus departed, as confirmed by Deadline and IGN. So why this matters, the adaptation faces delays in a new creative direction, potentially affecting its timeline and vision. It's some of the key points here. Despite several scripts being written for the first season, Sony and Amazon plan to hire new writers to bring a fresh approach to the series. the original plan, which was the show idea was announced in 2022, with a live action series set in the Norse realm of Midgard, aligning with the 2018 game. Writing was confirmed to be underway in early this year, but the series is still in early stages. For the future outlook, a new creative team will redefine the series' direction. Fans may have to wait longer to see the live action adaptation of God of War. Now, of course, I'd like to know what the issues were, if it was just creative direction or if this is Amazon being the overlords they are and basically being like, we know this is a good storytelling game. We know like this duology sold really well. It's a really popular series overall, but we want to put our Amazon spin on it. And they were just like, no, this is not what we were hired to do. We were hired to tell a great story. I don't know. We'll be, again, Jason Schreier, get on it. You know what I mean? Like we'll find out eventually. But my question to you, Zach, is obviously we've had The Last of Us, be a huge success with Max, and I guess they get it. Of course, Netflix and Amazon, two of the biggest streaming overlords, or like the big corporation overlords out there, being responsible essentially for two of the bigger Sony properties. Essentially like trying to do like with the Horizon being a movie or TV show deal with Netflix, and now Amazon trying to do this God of War TV show, and now both of them, like, of course, Horizon got canned, and now God of War is in flux at the moment. Obviously, with Sony, like if we can learn from Sony, we want quality over quantity. Like I'd rather have a great product and only be a few of them out there in the wild than a bunch of mediocre to terrible adaptations. Because for the longest time, video game adaptations was the curse. Like anything you hope to, when they made that announcement, hey, we're doing a TV show or a movie or live action adaptation of your favorite property, and people just groaned in agony.
Yeah.
And now they're good, or starting to get to be at a respectable point. So my question is do you think Sony I don't want to say got too big for their britches, but do you think that they're trying, just like with their live service initiative, do you think that this is biting them in the butt, trying to rush out their properties or get too many of these properties, big names, to like further push sales out there, and they're not working?
It's interesting because like you look at, like you said, Last of Us did really well. HBO, I feel like, has had a lot of skin in the game of making high quality TV shows for a very long time. Game of Thrones being one of them, of course, and then House of Dragons and Tokyo Vice, amazing show. Y'all need to go watch it. But Amazon also has a video game property that they did an amazing job with, Fallout. So they know,
good point,
that they have to cater to gamers and what they're expecting, and that is staying really true to the source material. I listened to Greg and Gary Whitta over on Kind of Funny. They were talking about this, and Gary Whitta, if anyone that doesn't know, he helped write Rogue One. He wrote the Book of Eli. He's super involved with the movie industry as a writer and everything. And Greg asked him, and the reason I bring this up, Greg asked him, what do you take this as someone that is in this industry? And he's like, it could be a lot of things. He's like, there could be creative differences and all of that. He's like, but a lot of times it could be because it even says in the article, we read kind of shorter versions of it, that PlayStation and Amazon liked the scripts. So
oh, you can win again. He's figuring out, guys. We don't know what happened here. His mic went out again. We do it live here, guys. Interesting. It's a new situation it's a new obstacle every week. But yeah, to kind of go off of him a little bit, like I don't know what he was the point he was gonna continue here, but going and apparently if they both approved the scripts, I mean something else fell through. Maybe it was the hiring of the act, like trying to get the actors who portray the characters that fell through. Maybe it was something creatively, like maybe the scripts were approved, but then like the filming direction or how it was going to be designed didn't go through. I don't know. We'll When Zach figures it out, we'll get more on what he because I haven't watched the episode yet from Kind of Funny, so don't know what they discussed, what was talked about just yet. But yeah, it's very interesting to find out that the scripts were approved, but it's still like they're gonna have to find new writers now. That being said, I not just because it's God of War and it's near and dear to both Zach and my hearts are our hearts, but I also want them to make sure it is done right. So if this first iteration did not pan out and they have to hit the reset button, that's fine with me because I'd rather them get it right than just rush out a bad product. Especially since it's got Amazon's name on it. Amazon's not in the business of losing money. They're just only about making more money. So they're not going to want to put out a bad product either. So I think they know that, they understand that, and I think that's why they made this decision to basically hit the reset button. All right, I hear him, so he's back again.
I don't know what's going on, bro. Like this computer mixer combo's acting up tonight. So, and I heard a little bit what you were saying. Back to what I was saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with Amy. It's better to take your time. Gary Whitta was saying on Kind of Funny that a lot of the times it could be that the budget has changed for the show, that it might have been like we'll use gaming terms, a AAA movie, show or whatever, budget wise. And then they came back as like, hey, we got to make this AA. You're going to have less money. And then looking at the script, it's like, well, that's not going to work because we wrote for, this kind of visual storytelling, all of these graphics. Because, like, yes, you can get away with some of, stuff, but like God of War, like there's creatures, there's all of this, and
magic,
all of that. So he was like, it could be that. He's like, there's a lot of different reasons why a team would leave a show, but he's like, people are not willing to pay money right now in the game, like in the movie industry. Like it's like he literally said, survive to 25. He's like try to just get to 2025 and then we'll see where the industry is. So I feel like that's where, because we've had the strikes this year, we've had the writer strikes as well, from last year into this year. And then, there's been a lot of things. And I think a lot of studios were counting on AI to help lift a lot of things, but with actors and their, whole contracts and all of that, like pushing that away, I think they were like, oh, we're going to get to cut all this money and all this kind of stuff. And now it's like, hey, no, you actually got to use real humans because, AI only goes so far.
Correct. So now my question is, like, because I was talking about, like how they need to make sure that not just because God of War is near and dear to our hearts, but, Amazon's not in the business of losing money. So I think it's a good thing that they had to pretty much hit the reset button. But it's also like, Sony's invested in this too. They like, if it was maybe, and this is not a slam against, anybody in particular, but if it was like a Little Big Planet that hasn't put out a game since the PS5 launched, it'd be a whole way different thing than than God of War. You know what I mean? So you have to make sure you do this right and just not put out a crappy product. Or like, like Media Molecule take 10 years to put out a product. But does this again, is this a sign I can't remember if you know, I don't think you directly answer. I don't know if you directly answer this because I know it's the state of the industry, but do you think do we see because of the struggles of Horizon and God of War, do you think that we see Sony continue with more properties, or do you think that if they do get this, they get Last of Us Season 2 out, they get the God of War project out, off the
Hmm.
ground, do you think they end it there?
No, if it is as successful as Last of Us, why
Hmm.
would you end it? You know what I mean? Yeah, like
Yes, but
the
also like
bird. I'm
but
just go ahead.
yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, I get that. Like, yes, if money talks, and if it succeeds, why stop the gravy train? But at the same time, if the struggle, because two out of the three projects are having turmoil right now. Um, if majority of the projects you want to do are causing you more trouble than even if they make you money and are successes, if the struggle is so much to bear that it takes so much longer to put out, and you miss that window for it to be like to make you like to boost sales and whatnot. Because let's be honest, this is, I think, their true strategy is they're doing this, like, yes, even if it's a great property, they're doing this to boost the sales of their game to make more
Oh
money.
yeah,
We saw that with Last
1,000%.
of Us. And do you think that it's not going to be worth it if they miss their windows to make this profit? Do you think that it's even worth it to do it?
I think it is because even though like the show might, come out where it's not aligned with the release or whatever,
Hmm.
still going to drive people to go play the game.
Yeah.
Oh man, that show was amazing. Oh, it's a game. Oh man, I got to go play that. Oh, I got to buy a
Hmm.
PlayStation 5 to do that. Oh, okay. Oh, there's two of them actually. Oh, wow. I want to go see what the world is like. It's all a marketing strategy, and
Right.
I don't think it's that point of where it's like you can't throw the baby out with the bathwater. It's like, yeah,
Hmm.
just because something is difficult doesn't mean it's not worth something. Like,
True.
it's like think about a lady having a baby. It's like just because it was difficult doesn't mean that she's going to throw away the baby.
Fair.
You know what I
Fair.
mean? Like it's just like, yeah, it was difficult, but now you've brought something into being that is going to bring you lots of joy to your fans, and then it's also going to bring a lot of interesting opportunities for Sony.
Fair. Okay. So we'll see. We'll see. Will God of War get off the ground? Time will only tell.
Only will tell. And we want to hear your thoughts as well in the comments below. While you do that, it's time for the PlayStation Quickies.
So starting off, one dev says that the PS5 Pro update workflow is very developer friendly, even for a small studio. The PS5 tops August US hardware sales as PlayStation Portal continues to put in a strong performance. The PS5 Pro is Amazon's best selling console in multiple regions, including the US. The PS5 Digital Edition accounted for 39% of all PS5s sold in the US for the month of August. PlayStation The Concert is touring from 2025 to 2026 to celebrate 30 years of Sony gaming, and will include music from God of War, The Last of Us, and The Last of Us, and also Ghost of Tsushima. Wanderer, the Fragments of Fate's PSVR 2 release has been delayed again. Concord free-to-play rumors surface as Firewalk updates PC game files. Destiny Rising is a new mobile-exclusive Destiny game from Bungie and NetEase. Until Dawn sequel has been teased by Hayden Panettiere and Peter Stormare. Following that, the Until Dawn film will premiere in April. Rumors of a sequel now getting a release month for the movie after it just said wrap filming means that we might get an announcement at Game Awards or somewhere around that point. Coincidence? I don't think so. And lastly, Astrobot sales have reportedly done better than any 3D platformer in the last decade that are not named Mario.
Boom. Just goes to show you. Just goes to show you. Amy says music from the games. That's cool. I literally wrote it down. I'd seen the headlines, but now knowing what games the music is from, Derek, I think I'm gonna have to buy a ticket.
Yeah.
Hopefully they come somewhere close.
Knowing in Florida, probably the closest one will be Miami, maybe
Well,
Orlando.
Even if it's like Miami, not Miami, Atlanta, like
Oh, that's fair too. Atlanta's a possibility, but I feel like if they're doing a world tour, the typical 3 U.S. cities that they always come to will be New York, Chicago, L.A.
yeah. Okay. I'm trying to see. I'm looking. I'm getting
Your wife throwing shade. It's like, will you fall asleep during it?
probably. No, I won't. Not for this. Not for this.
No, he'll fall asleep during the Last of Us section, and then all of a sudden he'll hear the God of War, like the Gregorian chant or whatever it was, and then he'll just rise up and I have been summoned.
I don't even see, like, it says world tour. I am not okay. Where's US?
Right.
All I'm seeing is Europe. What?
Well, that's disappointing.
Yeah,
there's going to be places where they're going to stream the concert too, though.
Yeah, but it's not the same, Derek.
I know.
It's not the same. All right. I'm looking, guys. We're on the trail, y'all. We're on the trail right now. Oh, come on.
Like, what about America?
Yeah, all we got is. I'm sorry. We're in America, y'all. Come on. Living in America. It says more dates coming soon. So hopefully.
They probably just started with Europe because that'll probably be the first stop they do.
Yeah. They better. That's all I got to say. They better. Yeah, they better. What about America? Derek, that's enough about PlayStation and their stuff. Let's talk about the Pokemons. They've been, suing people and all that stuff, and they had some people do some interesting things. Pokemon dev Game Freak reportedly hacked stolen data on unannounced games as well as Switch 2.
So
codename leaked online.
It's almost like people fought back. It's like, oh, y'all want to be jerks? All right, we're gonna spoil your whole career. Game Freak admitted a server breach exposing data for over 2,600 employees. Leaked information reveals codenames for upcoming Pokemon games: Gaia for the 10th generation, Ikaku for Pokemon Legends ZA, and Nintendo's next-gen console, allegedly codenamed Ounce. That's a weird implication. Why this matters, these leaks could impact future game releases and raise security concerns. That's with all leaks, honestly. Data breach details, the names and emails were compromised. The vulnerability has been fixed, however. Of course, the leak project names: Gaia, which is the 10th gen Pokemon game; Ounce, which is Nintendo's next gen console code name; Ikaku, which sounds dope, is Pokemon Legends ZA, which I don't know why that's the code name, considering we already know the name of the game, but whatever. And then lastly, Synapse, which is possible Pokemon MMO co-developed with another studio. Additional leaks, source code for DS games, details on an unreleased Detective Pikachu sequel, and mention of a Netflix live-action Pokemon series. No official comments from Nintendo and the Pokemon Company, and they remain silent on the leaks. But what's next is fans may face a longer wait for new Pokemon release. Official statements are anticipated. I don't know if that means a potential delay on releases because ZA comes out early next year. But I do think it may halt the announcement of Switch 2, possibly. Gaia, I could see getting delayed. Now, this Synapse, Pokemon MMO is intriguing, but also it's like I know there's Pokemon Go, but I don't know because they got to make sure that the servers work and they get their graphics ready, because if you're going to do a
Yeah.
huge MMO game, it's going to take a lot of bandwidth, and that's going to affect the graphics to an extent. So you got to make sure you got the power to back it up. So, but seeing this, I mean, obviously, Ounce is like the weirdest code name for any Nintendo console we've heard, and it definitely has my mind in some places as why it's named like that. But a 10th generation Pokemon game, I don't think surprises us, but it is intriguing to get this already when ZA is like their next Pokemon game, and I'm sure I'm sure Nintendo didn't want this to get out, because it's like, now that's going to take away the luster from ZA a little bit. But if it hits like Pokemon Legends Arceus, whatever, however you pronounce it, tomato. If it hits like that gameplay style, then I think it'll just be fine with the fans. But does any of this, like, does the potential MMO intrigue you at all, Zach?
I don't know, dude. Like, I'm kind of Pokemoned out. Like, I want to care about Pokemon, but I literally have Charizard as my wallpaper on my computer. Like, I like Pokemon, but like, I have not cared about a Pokemon in so flipping long
since Arceus.
Yeah, well, and even like once I started playing Arceus, I was like, oh,
it's more of the same, but you're crouching. You're doing Assassin's Creed crouching stuff.
It didn't feel it like. It's the weird tightrope of I want something different, but I want the same thing, and like I've got an emulator on my phone, Delta, and was able to play Pokemon Yellow, and I'm like, man, this is good stuff. I'm enjoying this, and it's like I don't know. I don't think I'm the Pokemon person anymore.
True.
You know what I mean? Like, I've tried. Pal World was fun.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe Nintendo or Game Freak is suing them. Pokemon Company is suing them so they can get the tech to be able to do their own thing.
Probably.
Who knows? So, yeah, an MMO would be cool, though. I will say that.
Yeah.
Like, it just can't suck. Like, if you do an MMO, it cannot suck, because if you do not get people playing it, that game will die.
Correct. And don't throw all your, or shoot all your bullets in the chamber at once. Like, don't put all the regions from that you've done. I would start off with 2, and then if you gain popularity, like do Kanto and Johto. And then if those are popular, then add Sinnoh, and then keep going from there. Like every year, add a new region, like how World of Warcraft does, like how any MMO does. Like, they just add new updates every year.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. I think that's a great idea, Derek. 100%. Derek, Xbox partner preview happened today.
I know, last minute, because at first, like, they showed I saw Yakuza, or Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza, and I was just like, didn't they just show this? Like, but then looking at the article, I'm like, oh, it's different, because I feel like it was like they're just a rehash of their Tokyo Game Show, but it wasn't. It had some different things. This was pretty much like Nintendo's indie partner showcase, essentially, to an extent, but it had some big games in there. Launched today, so we had something to talk about, along with the God of War TV show. So.
Yeah, so we're going to watch a bunch of trailers. We're going to react and talk about them. And we want your thoughts. We want your opinions on all of this as well. And, we got to put the Xbox up here. You know what I mean? We got to get the
we can't be Sony ponies.
You know what I mean? We gotta go big or go home, Derek. That's how I feel about all of this. You know what I mean? So look at that. Nobody can say that
we're not fair.
We're not fair. You know what I mean? Like, we are so fair. So first up is Phasmophobia, and let me get my notes. Phasmophobia is coming to the Xbox October 29th. So let's check out this the spoopy trailer.
What did you see? Okay, never mind, we're coming.
Spooky, scary skeletons.
I thought you said you weren't afraid of no ghost.
Right.
That was a cool reveal. I like
Yeah.
that. You ain't getting out, yeah.
You trapped in here with us, boy. Oh, that's cool. October 29th.
That's
Well done.
That was well done, 100%. Now, Derek, I know neither you nor I, like, especially me, I'm not a huge. Can you hear me still?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it said I was muted again. Neither you or I are like huge on like horror games, you know, like that's
Yeah.
not like our bread and butter. Does this do anything for you? Like, are you stoked that it's I think it's cool that it's coming to Xbox because I think it was only PC.
Yeah, it's PC. Then I think it made its way to PlayStation, and then now it's on Xbox. So it's I like I like it because again, it's more people, another fan base or another several a new fan base to enter into the game. I know you can play it single player, but it is kind of multiplayer centric to an extent.
Mm-hmm.
So again, that's not a game that I'm into either, or don't have time to get into either. But it is cool. Like it's not my wheelhouse. Like I may watch it being streamed. I'm not going to watch it like play it myself.
Derek, you wouldn't want to play it with me?
No.
I see how it is. Another one, we got some Subnautica 2 news. We got an early access that has been announced. So let's check out the trailer.
Leviathan. Oh boy.
Mr. Krabs?
Money. Oh no. Leviathan.
You ain't making it, buddy. You ain't making it.
You gonna die. Oh. Never mind. He might make it. Nope. Never mind.
Leviathan.
You're right. Oh boy.
Oh. No, it's Squidward.
No. SpongeBob.
All right, Derek, tell me what you thought about Subnautica. I played a little bit of the first one.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I think there's a lot to it. I remember watching Markiplier play it. They got really excited because of that. But I want you to do it with your Squidward voice.
No, I can't do I can't do it the whole thing. SpongeBob, I'm going back to bed. This game doesn't interest me one iota. I'm gonna go play my clarinet. So
you play saxophone, Derek. Don't lie.
I know. I'm
to
staying
people.
with the meta. But no, it's cool. Like I know, so we've known Subnautica 2 has been a thing for a while. I don't remember what of course I'm blanking on what they're doing different this time around. Probably just making the biomes bigger, adding new enemy factions or creatures to explore. But at the same time, it's cool that Xbox is it coming to Game Pass? I don't remember if it said at the end or not.
I just saw early access.
Okay. Well, because they normally do early access for Game Pass too. You know what I mean?
Let's see. Subnautica 2 early access. Yep, Game Pass.
Yep. So yeah, it is coming to Game Pass. So it is cool that you get to try it out. Yeah, I know Subnautica 1 did gangbusters in terms of like just being different and like because it's essentially a survival game in all aspects.
100%.
Yeah, so survival games were big. Like they're not as big now as they were back then. But again, there's still a fan base out there to play games like this as well. So it'll still do gangbusters. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I think people that were really into Subnautica will jump back on this, and I think you'll see the people that were big into it, like streaming or like making let's plays and all of that. You'll see them make something from this.
Correct.
I don't think it will be as big as it was before.
No.
Amy says the deep sea. That's a no
for me, dog.
Derek, would you be more afraid to go to space or to like deep sea?
Man, I honestly, there's deep sea, because everything that I read is like, because we've only mapped. Granted, yes, we haven't explored all of space, but
Yeah,
space is vast and huge. Whereas the sea, yes, it is vast and huge, but also there's a ton of life forms that we don't even know are down there. Like only, I think, like 8 to 10% of the ocean has been mapped. So it's the unknown in that, because it's like you could find something that you never intended to see, and plus, the deeper you go, the more like you are to get crushed by the pressure of the water. Where in space, all you got to do is make sure your oxygen tank doesn't deplete, and you'll be fine.
Well, and that you're vacuum sealed, because
that too.
Breach, it will literally just
crush.
You know what I mean? Like one way or another, you would get crushed if
True.
you did something wrong. I don't know. Like I definitely would want to go to space more than I would the deep sea.
For sure.
Yeah. Y'all let us know down in the comments. Amy says, I agree, Derek. I don't think I'm necessarily afraid of the deep ocean. I don't know. I don't know how I feel. But guys, let's talk about the next game that was shown. The Legend of Babu was announced for 2025. I'm assuming that's how we're going to pronounce it.
Babu.
Every time. Babu. So let's check out this trailer.
I feel like this is going to be something up your alley, Zach.
Offers everything.
Yeah, that big dog. Reminds me of Bond.
Roaring rivers and mountains of rock and ice. You are old enough now to know that for every bit of goodness in this world, an opposing force exists. In the heat of the earth resides a darkness you cannot fathom. Demons as old as time, my child. Do not doubt, even a light like yours can be tempted by the dark. You must always choose good. And that I know you will. Sepe, be resilient. Be resourceful.
Kind of giving me
be brave, my son.
Kena Bridge of Spirits.
Yep.
With Babu by your side, and may the magic of this island protect us all.
I don't know, because while there was, I definitely liked a lot of the aspects, and like I said, Kena Bridge of Spirits, and it kind of like toward the end of the trailer kind of gave me like Last Guardian vibes a little bit with like the puzzle solving, and it feels like you're gonna have to use Babu to figure it out. But to be and I never want to knock, because indie devs, like, you only work with a certain budget, you only have certain tools at your disposal. Like when some of the cutscenes like looked really good, but then when it gets to the gameplay, it feels like it looks bad. Like it doesn't look like it's polished well. And again, this might be an early build. It's not coming till next year, so this might be an early build of the game that they're showing off. Like we've seen this time and time again. At the same time, some of it's not flattering. Like this looks like late PS3 graphics.
You're being way nicer than me. I was thinking like some of the combat looks PS2. Like when it first happens, I'm like, this looks like PlayStation 2, like where it jumps right here. That looks like PlayStation 2, like Sands of Time back in the day.
Yeah. Oof.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or recently, if you're watching the Ubisoft remake.
Hopefully it'll be better than that. Like, I think it does look interesting. It's not giving me the urge to play it though, which
it says a lot.
Because this is Look at him. He was trying to be Kratos over here.
I know. I just now noticed that.
These are definitely games that I would normally go to. Maybe once we see a little bit more, you know, like give me a little bit more polish, give me a little bit more time, I might be down for this. But at the moment, the gameplay doesn't really speak to me a ton.
Right.
And that's, you know, in the hierarchy, that's number 2. Story is number 1.
Correct.
Gameplay is number 2, then graphics for us. But yeah, it does look interesting, but it's not there yet. Let it simmer a little bit, you know.
Let it marinate more.
Yeah. Amy just y'all are haters.
Truth tellers.
We truthers. We're truthers. All right. Mistfall Hunter has been announced and it's coming 2025.
Okay. That doesn't scream of like an Elden Ring boss at all.
Yeah. Your sock's gonna get wet.
Right.
As the gods shattered,
Yeah, this definitely feels
Elden Ring.
mist born of their flesh.
that kind of graphics right there is giving me Diablo.
Oh, for sure.
I have seen the ruins of old, like graves for a hidden past.
Huh.
And
Zombies.
without end. I have seen the hunters awakened, steadfast heroes among them, and treacherous villains as
It's
well.
giving me like
Dragon-
kind of Shadow of War,
Yeah.
like being able to go into that like stealth.
Fair.
I have seen
And then
the
some God of
foes
War.
fought low,
Right.
faiths torn asunder, and all that still lives before the end. They war and struggle in anguish.
I like that there's like various play styles that you could use.
True. Fushorda. And that Lechin's on some roids.
He's just taking a Z-Pack. That's the only steroids he's got going on.
I have yet to see the ember that can rise against the dark.
Huh. It's
I love
interesting.
that both of our huh. What were you gonna say, Derek?
I was gonna say, I think the biggest hook for this is because you saw it like you have the different combat styles, but I think the depth of combat too, because we saw like different moves and like different archetypes within each like class type. So I think
Yep.
the combat, like, and the depth of combat is going to be the big hook for this game. I feel like.
Yeah, like there's a lot of Souls looking things with the world here,
Right.
but I wasn't fully getting that with the combat. It felt more action
For sure.
focused than like dodging and all of that, because like that does not feel like, oh, you've got to be super precise.
It
all
doesn't
the
feel like you
time.
got to watch attack patterns.
Yeah, and I like that. It again, this is the first showing. It does look cool,
Yeah.
but I think I need more. because I
sure.
wasn't like, oh man, I've got to play that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
Not fully grasping your attention.
yeah, and it's like the magic looks super dope. Like again, like you said, the depth of combat, like being able to have like an assassin or a tank, kind of like I almost said Berserkir. That's a Shadow of the Gods book, but like having these different ways, sword, shield, like that sort of deal, or your spears, like that's just really cool in a time where a lot of like action games is like you get one type of style.
You get a swordsman, you get a mage, you get an archer.
Yeah, I think this is going to be really cool if they can land the plane with the gameplay thing.
Sure.
Amy says the synchronized old man, huh? Very cool magical creatures. Yeah, I do like the designs.
True.
I think that is pretty dope in all of that. But 2025 we'll be getting that. Also, Eternal Strands is coming early 2025, so probably within the first, quarter.
3 months, yeah.
Let's check out what Eternal Strand. I thought this was going to be Eternal Strand because she's over here,
Weaving the Matrix.
yeah, doing something over here. Oh, this is the one that we saw like burn everything.
Interesting.
Okay, this is not what. This is a different one.
Freeze. Everything. Huh.
Huh. Oh, I like that.
Yourself?
So you're a Jedi.
Oh.
Okay, yeah, we saw this before.
Oh, at a PlayStation event? Or was it another Xbox event?
I think it was Summer Games Fest. I like that you can put that was cool. Like freezing the fireball in midair, but you can put like ice on your blade. Okay, it is coming to Game Pass.
Yeah. That's a bonus.
That is definitely a bonus. Like the freeze, burn, everything. Like I think that gives a unique way of playing around. I don't know if you remember this game, Derek, but Mercenaries back on the original Xbox, they had like Mercenaries, Mercenary 2s. Like you could destroy everything. Like that's definitely giving me that kind of feel to it.
Okay.
Where it's like, hey, you're going to be able to interact with the world. Not even it's like kind of oh gosh, what is that? Shadow of the Colossus being able to climb on the bigger enemies and everything. What did you think about it?
Thought it was cool. Like again, like being able to use your powers on everything, especially like the throw ability, like throw yourself across. Like I feel like those powers are gonna play heavily into like it's gonna be a very puzzle solving type of game to get to like the next area. So I feel like you're gonna have to use your powers in unique ways, but this was just showing like the combat ability of it, which I think again shows a very unique breadth of combat styles that you can use in the game. Even though I feel like when she threw the thing at the automaton, it just bounced off the chest, and he's like, "What?"
Yeah,
it's like that's it.
Yeah, 100%. And it kind of like it's not fully Phoenix Rising,
Immortals,
but the art style sort of gives me that vibe.
Same
with it.
I can agree with that.
Yeah, I agree with Amy. It's like didn't really get a story, but it does look cool, and it being on Game Pass is worth checking out. I think that's the nice thing about Game Pass, and the movement. It does remind me a little bit of Forspoken, like being able to like jump and like move.
Mm-hmm.
And everything.
Yeah. I'm about to say I got more Forspoken. I feel like in Mist. But this one, I see where you're coming from with that as well.
Yeah, it's more of the traversal, like jumping, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But the rest of it, not at all. But 2025 early coming to Game Pass and over on PC as well. Derek, I know you like the Yakuza or the Like a Dragon series, and we got a look at Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, and we got a new trailer for it. So let's see what kind of zany crap we're about to get into.
Everything.
He's naked on the beach. He looks dead.
Or about there.
おじさんが記憶取り戻すまででいいからさ、俺も島の外連れてってよ。
I love
父ちゃ
we
んにも
didn't
内緒
get
で。
any captions for this bad boy.
Nope. Just figure it out. Jack Sparrow.
Oh, we actually get to control the ship.
That's awesome.
Cool. And customize it. This is way better than
Sea of Thieves.
マ
yeah.
ッドランティスってとこから来てんだよ。
Whoa, this looks
That's
cool.
dope.
This is going to be so fun.
It will be.
ブライスなき今マッドランティスはいくつかの犯罪組織で運営されてるよ
This might be my first Yakuza game.
クイーンマイシェルってバーサーの組織だ
よく来たねキャプテン真島に五郎丸の皆さん
マッドランティスにはカジノも女の店もあるがパイレー
Oh,
ツ
Tournament of
一
Captains.
番金が動く
Whoa.
We get to have Samoa Joe.
やっと会えたな兄弟。兄弟はやめ言うてろ
Oh,
この先ずっと記憶喪失のままでいいのか
what the world?
ヤクザの大官だ
We
っただ
can
ろ
summon
記憶戻らんか
sharks
った
and
らこの
monkeys.
まま海賊
Right.
作業を続けんのもありか
Yeah, this is definitely better than Skull and Bones.
Yeah. February 28th.
Like, it's crazy because like we just got what was it?
Man who erased his name.
Is that no, the one where you got to like it was like essentially Animal Crossing. It was like a dragon something.
Like a Dragon. No, that wasn't because there was Like a Dragon. They released 2 Yakuza games. Was it last year, this year? Who knows? I know there was Like a Dragon Ishin and then Like a Dragon, the man who erased his
Infinite
name.
Wealth.
Ah, that's okay.
Yeah, Infinite Wealth. Yeah.
But
I
this
don't know,
looks dope. Like
yeah.
this, like everything we saw about this, it very much intrigued me. Like
Yeah.
I know they've done zany stuff before, but ever since they changed it to Like a Dragon, like the one that came out when the PS5 and Series X and S launched, and it was like the first one that they went turn-based with. I feel like they've just taken liberties and just basically like just go weird with it and see what sticks. And this one I think is definitely sticks, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And he was like, pirates! This looks chaotic and incredible. I agree. I know Roger over at Kind of Funny was talking about like he got to go to the preview event and everything. And he said the customization, the different things that you can do within the game, he's like, this is so much fun. So
It looks fun. I mean, like here, you get to summon a freaking sharks and monkeys.
yeah. Like I said, this might be my first Yakuza game to try out and see what it's about. You know what I mean? So
we'll see if it comes to game. They didn't say it's coming to Game Pass, but there's time to work out that deal.
yeah, exactly. So I'm excited. I want to hear your thoughts down in the comments below. We've got a few more trailers that we're going to look at tonight. Chronos, the new Dawn, was announced, and I'm curious because are they talking about the god Chronos or just
Probably not.
time? So let's check out the trailer, y'all. Time.
I don't feel.
Yep.
Oh nope! I was about to say I don't get a good vibe from Bloober team. Oh boy, spoopy, scary skeletons.
Still playing chess with the blood on the thing.
Right. Priorities.
Yeah.
Oh boy. All right.
Is this? She's playing against death, I think.
Ooh. She's battling time.
Huh.
Hey, you got something on your chess pieces there, bud.
It's the same person.
So is he playing against death?
It looks like it. Is it
It's very-
her?
This looks like very Dead Space inspired.
Yeah.
Oh.
Is it gonna?
Like, I don't like losing, so I'm just gonna win anyway.
Well, the face looks exactly like the monster that he killed.
Yeah.
Huh.
Interesting. Nah.
That's
Nah.
no for me, dog.
Nah.
Yeah. Some of it is giving me Death Stranding vibes,
Yeah.
you know.
Or you mean Dead
Um,
Space?
No, like Death Stranding with like
Oh.
the light and like
Yeah, yeah.
that sort of deal. But yeah, definitely some Dead Space. Yeah, that's the name of it. Whatever. Amy's like the creepiest chess game ever. Yeah.
Correct.
It clearly is dealing with, you know, some sort of time, because at the very beginning we get like this shot of like this, and then at the end we get the same shot of
That building, but like torn apart.
yeah. So where the crap is it? Y'all know what I'm talking about.
I think it's before the title
Yeah.
shot.
There you go.
Yeah.
Same thing. So I don't know.
Yeah. All I can
Derek,
say is
Are you
all I
hopping
can, no, it's a no for me, dog. Like
in?
like I wanted to play the Dead Space remake so bad, but my heart, I don't know if my heart could take it anymore. You know what I mean? Like I say the old ticker. I don't need to send it to another grave any more than I need to. But I do like. I think this like that shot, like when it pans to them playing chess, is the most intriguing part because
Mhm.
it raised. Like, yes, we thought she was playing against death, but now it's like, is he playing against death? And it's like,
yeah.
who's the villain? Who's the hero in this one? I feel like there's going to be a moral conflict to where are you in the right or are you in the wrong?
Yeah. Yeah. It's just like the face that it's like her face is on this thing.
Yeah.
It looked like, we'll get there in just a second, but yeah, like there's so much to unpack within all of this. Cause like,
But we know the real enemy here is
Yeah,
time.
yeah, that's her. Like something happened to her
Wow.
that changed her. So
Like I said, the real enemy is time.
Yep, 100%. To keep on with the spoopy trend, Alan Wake 2 DLC gets a new preview, so let's check it out.
I keep coming back to this page. The author's clearly awake. It's like he's warning us. But about what? I mean, what does it mean?
There was a crack in the lake house. The Marmonts had let the lake in.
This is Agent Kieran Estevez responding to an AWE alert in the vicinity. I need to speak with the Marmonts.
But the water could not flow. It became trapped, stagnant. The pressure kept building, looking for release.
Right. Mm-mm.
We have a situation in the lake house. All agents converge on the facility now.
Nah, dog. Nah, dog.
I'm outside in a forest. Not here, not here, not here.
All right.
I think you need to look around a little bit because
you ain't in no forest. I see no trees.
Marty says, "Ooh, horror game."
Yeah.
Derek, you know me. I love Alan Wake. I need to play Alan Wake 2. This is getting spookier than I think that I'm ready for. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is like the crossover with Control, right? So it's going to be more, and Control's been more paranormal, and I think crossing over with the horror that Alan Wake tells just makes it for an ultimate creep show. So I think that's why it's so much more unsettling, because it's like, you don't know, like, you know, we got people coming out of walls and stuff. You know what I mean? People thinking they in forests.
Yeah. Yes. Spoopier. Like spooky, but spoopy. Yeah, it's definitely spoopier on this. I'm glad that they're giving more support to this game, because Alan Wake 2 did so well, and now it's like we're getting the continuation of that. So yeah, it's it's gonna be weird. Just get ready. Hold on to your butts, because it's about to get weird. So yeah, I'm excited for it, and I think there's a little bit of more news. The Control multiplayer game is revealed as FBC Firebreak, and we have a trailer for that as well.
Weird title.
Yeah.
This place was always dangerous and weird.
Well, you're not wrong.
Policy and procedure used to keep us in control.
Control.
Now, we need a new approach.
Them sticky notes to get you, y'all.
Right.
It definitely feels less scary and just more like chaotic.
Right.
Maybe that's what they're going for.
Maybe.
That was cool.
Yeah, I think this is gonna be more about the power-ups and stuff.
Yeah. What is it gonna do?
I was gonna say something absurd, probably.
Welcome to Firebreak.
I'm like, it feels like zombies, like Call of Duty zombies.
Yeah, good point. Especially with the power-ups.
Yeah, with the power-ups and everything. So I don't know. How do you feel about it?
I don't know. Like, again, when you take obviously, yes, like stuff like Dead by Daylight and Phasmophobia are way different. And but when you take a game that's made to be like seriously scary and creepy and add like more of an upbeat song to it to make it more like metal and like, hey, let's have a fun time, kids. I don't know. It kind of takes away some of the appeal.
Yeah, I was kind of feeling that too. Like, it looks like the gameplay will be fun, but I also think that they're trying to appeal to a wider audience here.
Correct.
Especially like with the lake house, and then this like feels totally different. But again, it could be just the music that they put on it. It could be a lot creepier than what we're seeing. But I think they also, like, when you do that, you're being not as honest to what the game is going to be. It is coming to Game Pass.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Again, coming Game Pass will be good because, you know, we can give it a run. We can give it a trial. And if we don't like it, at least we didn't spend extra money on it.
Exactly. Not like Star Wars Outlaws.
Don't remind me.
Can't get that money back. You know what I mean? Marduk says, I thought it was a new Team Fortress Zombies.
Good point.
It does kind of, that kind of zany thing that Team Fortress has going on and everything. Yeah, this is a new game, but it's based off of the Control universe and everything. Derek's sleepy, y'all. It's getting past his bedtime. The old man, the old man here. We got one last trailer, and then we've got one last story of the night. But let's jump into this last one. This is Wuchang Fallen Feathers is coming in 2025.
All right.
Is dead. Although I swore to protect it.
All right.
I failed. Now I walk the path.
That's a scene.
Until my mission is fulfilled. I will not rest.
Hey, I don't play footsie. Get away with me.
Silenced, and our stolen kingdom return. Who dares to question my will?
Looks like he's got like katanas like shoved into his back.
Right. All right.
Sekiro.
I was thinking kind of more of Black Myth Wukong.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
Dang. All right. What in the world?
Flamethrower. Oh, that was dope.
A fox snake? What in the world?
Just another lost soul. Trying to oppose
Looks like he's just got a chandelier on his back, though.
Yeah.
It's mine to command.
Huh.
Coming to Game Pass.
Yeah.
Huh.
So there was a lot to like in this. Like, obviously, it is unique. Some different things. Like, again, Black Myth Wukong. I also feel like with the different ability, like the different weapons, like, and I know that they didn't show a vast array of it in the last trailer that we saw for it, but kind of gave me also where winds meet vibes as well. So I don't know. It looks unique and it looks sort of promising, but I don't know if it'll be a game for me.
Yeah, I kind of go with Murdoch here. The whole Souls-like genre has lost me. Too many, too fast. Yeah, like there's a ton of them constantly coming out, and the brutality of like you can't make a mistake, I feel like, within the Souls genre makes it much harder to play, and that's why, you know, like Ghost is the game for me. Like, I do want to play Black Myth Wukong because the story does look really cool, but I don't feel like I have the patience to figure all of it out and have the timing and everything. But yeah, being on Game Pass is definitely worth checking out. But unlike the one that we saw earlier, the Mistfall, yeah, like the combat definitely feels more, you know,
intuitive.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see once it comes to Game Pass, but it's not a day one. Yeah, not a day one at all for me. So, Derek, now that we've seen everything, we've seen it all. What is your like? Oh man, that was the best thing that we saw.
Easily, hands down, Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii.
I will agree with that. Like it definitely is the strongest of them all.
Yeah.
Out of it, there's definitely some interesting things, but man, it was like that was the one trailer was like, dang, I'm excited about a game.
Like, if there was a trailer like, this is our game, this is what all you can do, it did it perfectly.
Yeah. Because I felt like a lot of the other ones, it was like, well, what about this? What about this? I felt like I had more questions. It was like, all right, I got you. Don't show me anything else.
Right.
That's literally, it's like, I got you.
Message received.
Yeah.
No, don't lie, Zach. You know you're gonna play the game of the year, Legend of Babu.
I want that to be cool, but it just did not.
I know.
Murdoch, pirate? Did you say pirate?
Yeah.
Yes, we did. We did. And please don't treat me like Skull and Bones. Yes.
It already looks better than Skull and Bones.
Yeah, 1,000%. I'll give Murdoch a little taste. I'll be kind and give him a little taste here of this. So this is Pirate Yakuza
in Hawaii. Just so good.
Yeah, it just looks great. Like, and it's going to be crazy and zany because it's a Yakuza game.
Right. Like this Joker, like aerodynamics, his swashbucklers.
Yeah. So.
And then we have great value, Lady Dimitrescu.
I was literally thinking that when it was like played the first time. So, yeah, I think this is going to be fun.
I 100% agree with that.
Yeah.
And you got Samoa Joe, bro.
Yeah.
Like, come on now.
Yeah. Ship combat. That's what we're talking about over here, Murdoch. Any else get One Piece vibes?
I don't know. Like, it's a stretch. Like, the zaniness of it obviously gives One Piece, but I don't know. I'm getting more like Pirates of the Caribbean than I do One Piece.
True. Yeah, I'm down for that. I think this, you know, anytime we have like the random, oh, we're having a thing, I'm always kind of like, this is last minute.
It is.
You know
this
what I mean?
Decided right before they're at the end.
Yeah, it's like, okay, this is last minute. I'm not going to get my expectations up. There were a lot of cool games that I don't think I've heard of that got shown, and then some things that are bigger that are coming over to Xbox, which I think is great for the people that are over there, especially the people that have Game Pass and all of that. So I think it was solid, but I don't think it was like anything like, oh my God, this is the best thing that PlayStation,
Xbox
is done. A little Freudian slip right there.
We'll get your hay later, you pony.
But yeah, I think it was a solid showing for Xbox. What about you, Derek?
It did its thing. It had its moments, but again, I feel like it is on the lower end. But then again, it's subjective with stuff like this because it's about the games that speak to us.
Yep, 100%. All right, we're out of that. Whew. Well, I guess I could keep. We're still talking about Xbox. So, Halo Infinite Battle Royale was real and could have been a game changer, says developer.
So former Certain Affinity game director Mike Klopper confirmed the existence of a canceled Halo Infinite Battle Royale mode, calling it a potential game changer for the Xbox franchise. So why it matters is the revelation sheds light on missed opportunities to rejuvenate the Halo series amid declining player engagement. So, of course, the developer's confirmation on LinkedIn, Klopper stated that he led a team working on the canceled mode. Said I believe this product could have been a game changer for the franchise. And of course, the first public acknowledgement, Klopper is the first developer to speak openly about the scrap project. Of course, it's been rumored for years, and speculation about Battle Royale has circulated since the success of games like PUBG and Fortnite. Some background. Previous since all the way back to September of 22, Certain Affinity's president Paul Sams teased a large project in development. Social media tease earlier in that April of 22, Certain Affinity tweeted about further evolving Halo Infinite in some new and exciting ways. It's always intriguing. Like, again, well, it could have been a game changer. The world will never know. You know what I mean? Yeah. And of course, it was trying to strike while the iron was hot with this whole battle royale craze. Would it have survived and be in the set? Would have cracked and been top 4, like, and joined the big 3? We'll never know. But at the same time, this is more a testament to the missteps of Halo, like the long seasons and multiplayer, the lack of content changes, over the course of the seasons, and not to mention the failed promises of single player add-ons with the story in the continuation of like the cliffhanger we got at the end of the story. So I think this is more of a testament against the or testament to Halo's failings and 343's failings than it is like, oh, this could what could have been, like the prospect of what could have been.
Like, I know a lot of people were super excited for a battle royale. I think it would have been intriguing, but
yeah,
you're chasing a trend at that point. You're not setting the trend, and it's just not going to be good. It's not going to be something that people like would have went to in droves. Yeah, you would have more streamers playing it, which again does, do something for the game, but yeah, I think the problems with Halo goes a lot deeper than that, and it stems from 343.
Correct. So, yeah, they're the crux at all, of all this. And again, we talked about it ad nauseum last week about when they rebranded. Now they're Halo Studios. They're going to be on the Unreal Engine 5. They're ditching the Slipspace engine, but they just had to get one more twist of the knife in there just to remind people that, hey, we messed up Halo and we did not do this franchise justice. We tried to do our own thing and adhere to industry trends rather than just do our own game and just make ourselves unique.
Yeah, it's sad. Yeah, Murdoch, you bring it out 100%. If I can get the right one here, 343, you're dead to us.
Yeah,
literally 343 is dead. So, you know, it's not dead though, Derek.
Patreon.
Yeah, exactly. Guys, it's time for the Patreon Quick Hits. The Patreon Quick Hits are brought to you by our wonderful patrons. So you can go over and support the Nerd Cave by getting your very own Nerd Cave membership to help us continue to make awesome shows just like this one. Help support a 1.5 person business here. Become part of the ship, part of the crew at patreon.com/nerdcave and pick the tier that fits best for you. It's now time for the Patreon Quick Hits.
So starting off, another one for you, Zach. Rumor, Ubisoft's Splinter Cell remake being made on the Snowdrop engine and possible 2026 release date could be in sight.
Don't believe it.
Yeah, not even if you see it, don't believe it, especially if it comes from Ubisoft. FIFA announces partnership with Konami that will see esports come to eFootball. Call of Duty Black Ops 6 campaign is, quote, like playing through a summer blockbuster, and will the rewards will include skins and weapon blueprints. Tetris Forever will include a brand new Tetris game along with 15 plus classic versions. Football Manager 25 has been pushed to March. Ex-Disco Elysium devs have formed not one but two new studios, Long Do Games and Dark Math Games. But hold on, Summer Eternal is a third studio formed by ex-Disco Elysium devs. Metaphor ReFantazio has sold out 1 million copies in its first day, and following that, Metaphor ReFantazio was originally planned to be a Lord of the Rings style RPG. Tomb Raider 4 through 6 are the next set of Tomb Raider games to be remastered to get the remaster treatment. Steam now warns customers they're buying a license, not a game, before they continue to payment. Follow the Google US ruling. Microsoft will soon let people buy and play Xbox games directly in the Xbox app on Android. Dragon Quest III Remake sets up a surprise ending for the HD 2D trilogy. Microsoft picks up MechWarrior 5 Clans for day one Xbox Game Pass launch. 25 years later, Star Wars Episode 1 Jedi Power Battles is coming back. Little Nightmares becomes a horror comic book starting next year. Crystal Dynamics announces the Tomb Raider franchise has eclipsed 100 million copies sold.
Wow.
Right. A Hogwarts Legacy Definitive Edition is reportedly in the works with new story content and more. Resident Evil 9 listing appears on Metacritic as we wait for Capcom's official reveal. Resident Evil 4 Remake has reached major sales milestone with 8 million copies sold. Saber Interactive has no plans for PvEVP mode in Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2. Fortnite's 2024 Halloween event is out now. Features outfits from Saw and Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Smash Brothers creator Sakurai offers heartbreaking tribute to late Nintendo president Satoru Iwata as he winds down his popular YouTube channel. Xbox Game Studios boss retires, and Rare's Craig Duncan will take up the mantle. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero moves 3 million copies in 24 hours. Overwatch 2 Season 13 brings Halloween Terror, Mythic Spellbinder Widowmaker, and My Hero Academia crossover. Riot lays off more League of Legends devs while promising to increase team size. Ubisoft responds to rumors of XDefiant dying again, saying, quote, there are no plans to shut down after Season 4. Historic composer Nobuo Uematsu confirms Fantasian Neo Dimension will be his last major project. Skyrim lead designer says Bethesda could have a higher degree of polish, but bug-free games are impossible. IO Interactive boss says Project 007 is progressing amazingly well and hopes the game is the start of a trilogy. Following that, IO Interactive teaming with ex-GTA producer Studio to publish Mind's Eye. Dontnod announces layoffs that could impact up to 69 workers. Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2 sells 4.5 million copies in just over a month. Vesemir actor reportedly recast alongside Henry Cavill in The Witcher Season 4. Microsoft pulls dollar Game Pass trial ahead of Black Ops 6 launch as it did for Starfield. EA takes Plants vs. Zombies 3 offline for major overhaul. And lastly, to end on a positive note, Zach and Amy, you'll like this. Hazelight Studios' It Takes Two has surpassed 20 million copies sold worldwide.
Whoa, let's go. Let's go.
Such a huge victory for them.
Yes, that is dope. Man, when you hear like the Vesemir actor, great in the show. I think that he did an amazing job. I hate to see him go. There was one thing that stuck out to me. What was it? I didn't highlight it because I normally do. I would have thought Tomb Raider would have sold more, to be honest. Oh, it was the riot, laying off people to increase the team size.
Yeah, like
what,
one of these things is not like the other.
Yeah, that makes no sense. Okay, so Murdoch had a couple questions in here. Wait, I heard about Steam. What does that mean? So Steam is saying you are buying the license to be able to use this game. You do not own the game.
Which has been a big thing. Like, I think it was a California law that, passed, because apparently the whole thing, and we've known this for a time, you don't own the game, you just own a license to play the game. But now I guess people are being duped. They're not reading the fine print and they're like, what do you mean we don't own the game? So now they have to give this disclaimer.
Yeah, it's like having to be very upfront about it instead of like, we kind of knew that it was that way for a while.
Right.
Because we've seen other stores like pull things off of, the store and all of that. And like PT, people, if you didn't keep PT downloaded, it was
gone. Never do it again.
Yeah. But what about playing really old games? How does that affect that? That's the bigger question here, he says. So, like, as long as it is my library safe, I don't know, to be honest. Because
nothing is safe.
Yeah, nothing is safe at this point, because if they want to pull something, like if they lost the license for this, then you would lose the license for it.
Yeah.
That's just it's like Netflix, essentially. That's kind of how it works.
That's a good point. That's a very good point.
And we, like with PC gaming, they went digital way before consoles did, because like you don't ever see those big bulky boxes anymore like we used to back in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Is this going to drive physical sales? I don't think so, because people are lazy.
Well, and also not only that, well, yes, people are lazy, but also, we're seeing the slow decline of physical media anyway. So they're now like in like the Dave Chappelle thing, gotcha. Where it's like, hey, you can, if anything, is going to drive up demand for like scalpers or like third-party sites that know that you're trying to find this. Like, there's only so many out in the wild, because with them not doing as much physical media, it's like, you have no choice but to buy digital. But if we lose the license, you don't keep the game. So it's a lose-lose for you, buddy.
Yeah, and it's sad. It's definitely going to affect people's decisions on this, because like I definitely gotten to the point where it's like I want to own more things, because streaming services are awful about communicating to their patrons or whatever, that what they're doing when they take things off. Like, there's some shows, like especially in the anime world, like Crunchyroll is literally running a monopoly at this point.
Oh yeah.
So it's definitely something to consider. Like, gaming side of things, like it is definitely going the way everything's going to be digital. And of course they're not going to cut cost. The game is going to still cost $70, even if there's no physical, because they've already proven they will buy it and everything.
Right.
Definitely feels bad, man. Yeah, 100%. So yeah, I think we're just at that point where we let it go too long and didn't call corporations on anything. Because even PlayStation, like, remember this is like December of last year, Derek, where they were like, oh, the movies that you bought because it's like the service is going out, like you're no longer going to own it. And it's like, whoa, I bought this. Like, I literally in the terms, like, So I think we're going to see a lot of people start updating terms of service. It's like,
Oh,
hey,
for sure.
you don't actually own this, you know, because of this law that went through in California. And yeah, it's going to get crazy for sure. Yeah. Yeah.
So fun times, or not really.
Yeah. Murdoch says, FYI, Helldivers 2 60-day patch dropped, and it's a game changer. Literally.
Literally.
I don't say literally ever anymore. It's literally.
Yeah.
In my mind. I don't know why.
I've literally caught myself saying that, both mentally and physically, a lot
But
lately.
You said literally.
Yeah. Oh, good point.
There you go. Well, guys, that is the episode for this week. We hope that you enjoyed it. Make sure to join us on Tuesday, where we're jumping back into Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. We're reviewing it next week, so we want to hear your thoughts and opinions. That will be the episode. We might talk about other things if we don't fill an hour. We might talk about our Game of the Year thoughts, because it's getting close. You know, what we think at this point, because we still got Dragon Age Belgar. We've got Mario Party Jamboree. We've got so many other cool games coming out the rest of the year. Will Derek play either of those? Probably not. But we'll see you on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. This has been Zach.
And Edrin Grimborn, the Frozen Knight.
Y'all have a blessed week. Bye-bye.